a couple of months back, I read a book called How to Win Friends and Influence People. And, I've heard a lot about this book beforehand. I've read about it, and people recommended it to me because I wanted to improve my social skills. So I read it, and, well, while it didn't really... I kind of slogged through it. Let's just say I slogged through it. Because, there's some really, really good principles in there. It's a really, really good book, and it's timeless for what it is, and it probably has more uses now than ever, because nowadays more people struggle with social skills than ever before, right? But honestly, I didn't find it that interesting right after reading it. I got through it, I noted down the principles, I read it twice. Basically, I read up every chapter like once, then I read it again, and then I went on to the next chapter. So I essentially read every chapter twice in the same run of the book, but there's only a couple of principles that really stuck with me. One of them being addressing people by name. The other one being showing genuine interest in other people if you want them to like you. And the third one is to smile. And the latter has probably left the biggest impact on my social life, personally. I've always been the quiet kid, I've always chosen to kind of stay in the back of the room and not talk to anyone and just make as little noise as possible so that nobody talks to me, because, school has been rough, alright? Let's just leave it at that. I guess a lot of people can relate to this. But I wanted to make an effort to get better in social skills. I wanted to be able to talk to people easier. I wanted to be able to befriend people easier. And I found that smiling was the easiest way to do this. Let me tell you a little story. So with my coworkers at work, there was always this guy, let's just call him Tim. Tim is not his real name, but I'll just use Tim for simplicity's sake. So Tim always had this look of content on his face when he looked at you. Back when I started my apprenticeship, I was very, very reclusive. I didn't know how to talk to people, and most of all, I didn't want to be an annoyance to anyone. And every time, and Tim was one of the older mechanics at our workplace, and as an apprentice, he was one of the people that we could defer to as apprentices to get tasks from, because he worked in the same field that we were in apprenticeship for. So sometimes, when our teacher didn't really have anything to do for us, we would go to the other longer standing mechanics and ask them for work, ask them for little tasks that we could help them with that they don't want to do. And Tim was one of these people. But every time I approached Tim, he always had this look of, let's just call it contempt or like disdain on his face. Like every time I went close to him, he was just like, I can't even probably recreate it, bro. It just looks ridiculous. But you probably know someone, like, he just looked pissed, right? He just looked pissed all the time. And, I had a hard time approaching someone like that because I didn't want to be an annoyance. This person looked annoyed, and I didn't want to be more of a hindrance to him. I just wanted to let him work. But, every now and again, I kind of had to, because I didn't really have anything else to do, and he always had pretty nice things to do that actually taught us a lot. So every now and again, I would have to go up to him and talk to him or ask him for advice. And every time, I would just have this nagging feeling in the back of my head that it was annoying him. And when I started reading this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People, and I came across the chapter of smiling, I made it my mission to smile every single day. So basically what I would do is I would go, even when I didn't fucking feel like it, okay, I would get up in the morning, I would go to work, and I would greet literally everyone with a smile. I would just walk up to them with a genuine smile on my face and say hello and then their name. Because another thing, as I said from the book, was if you remember people's names, that will automatically make it easier for them to like you, because, if you put value on something as like this, it shows that you value the person. As crazy as that sounds, just remember people's names. They will love you for it. Anyways, So that was my mission, right? Every single day I would make it my mission to talk to everyone, greet everyone with a smile on my face, and greet them by name. And obviously, since Tim worked in the same department that I did, he was one of the people that I greeted. And the craziest thing happened after a while. Like, I'm not a morning person, so sometimes in the morning I just kind of felt like shit, and I honestly didn't want to talk to anyone because I don't drink coffee. I don't really do caffeine at all. And so I'm a slow starter sometimes, most of the time actually. I'm a slow starter in the morning. So obviously, like, smiling genuinely isn't something that is my first instinct in the morning, because I still, like, my brain is still powering up, and you probably know how it goes. Anyways, so sometimes I would get to work, and this was after like the first time I noticed this was like after a couple of months or like a month of doing this smiling thing every day. I went to work. It was a shit night. I couldn't really sleep, and so I was grumpy, not really pissed at anything, just a little grumpy, and like kind of had this leave me alone vibe to me. And the crazy thing is, then a lot of people came up to me, including Tim, the guy who never fucking smiled, the guy who I was genuinely scared of. I genuinely was convinced that he's gonna kill me someday if I ask him one more question about something. He came up to me and he greeted me with a big fucking smile on his face. He came up to me and he greeted me with a handshake and a smile on his fucking face. Dude, can you imagine how much power that gave me in that moment? I felt like absolute garbage. I just wanted to roll back into bed, shut out the noise from outside, just put on some fucking headphones and just sleep for like a day. And then this guy comes up to me and fucking smiles in my face. And, I couldn't help it. I had to smile as well. And just like that, my fucking morning was saved. Just like that. It's as simple as that. Honestly, this is one of the most powerful lessons that I've learned in the recent year. Is, physicists always say there is no such thing as a perpetuum mobile, so a thing that creates basically infinite energy, or creates more energy than it uses. Something like that can't logically exist, right, in a world of science, or as far as we understand it. But I think there's one thing that defies this logic, and it sounds fucking corny as fuck, and I already know you're gonna dislike the video because of that, but believe me when I say the only thing that creates more energy than it uses is a smile. Just try to think back. When was the last time you were outside? You were maybe walking the street, going to the mall or whatever. You see all these faces around you, all these fucking NPCs walking around, right? None of them, everyone's indulged in their own business. You're not paying too much attention to them. But then one person just catches your eye. And the reason they caught your eye is because they're fucking smiling. They're just walking down the street with a happy smile on their faces. Maybe they looked at you and smiled at you, right? It doesn't even have to be because they're fucking sexually attracted to you or anything. It's just they seem genuinely happy to see you out in the street, even though they've never met you before. Can you just think back to that moment? Think about how it made you feel. Just the raw power a person can take from this. That's what did it for me. And I know it sounds corny as fuck, but please, if you want one thing to improve your chances of getting to know someone, of talking to someone genuinely, about getting them interested in you, and about them being happy to see you, just smile. It's the easiest thing in the world you can do. Make it your mission. Do it for 1 month. That's the way I did it, right? I literally did it, made a task. I can't show you right now because it's not there anymore because I don't need it. It's a habit now. But back in the day when I started this, I had a task in a habit in my calendar that would show up every single day and would say, just smile. Just smile. It's that easy. And that's what I did for a month straight, and now it's a habit. Now I greet everyone with a smile on my face, with their name, and I don't have to strain for it anymore. So, but another thing that I want to get into is smiles have to be genuine. Because you can train your smile to be for years. You can train every single muscle in your little fucking face to do exactly what a smile is supposed to look like, but it'll never look genuine if it isn't. You can try as hard as you might to make it look genuine, but people can instinctively tell when a smile is not genuine. Well, this is probably just an instinct, and no one will be able to tell you what gave it away, because that's just beyond our conscious efforts. But everyone, I'm telling you this right now, every single person out there is able to tell a genuine smile from an ingenuine one. Instinctively. That's just how we avoid getting screwed over. Getting involved with the wrong kind of people. Because who in their right mind would smile at you ingenuinely? That person probably doesn't have your best interest at heart, right? So he's probably not someone you should be talking to. Be genuine with your smiles. Don't try to force it. Don't grit your teeth and just look at people and be like, hello. It's not gonna work. It's not gonna have nearly the same effect. Now, of course, you're probably thinking, dude, sometimes I just don't feel like smiling. You know, I just get up and I go to work and I wanna have my peace. I wanna just do my part, and then I wanna go home and I wanna play video games, and I don't have much reason to smile. Well, I'm telling you, you don't need to. You know, I've been in that exact same boat. I've not been a person that smiled much at all. I would have people constantly tell me to smile more because my face looked so grim all the time. I would literally have my girlfriends tell me that back in the day. My ex-girlfriends would literally tell me, you should smile more. In pictures, specifically. My mom would tell me that. You know, I don't think there's more than 5 pictures in my family's photo album where I'm smiling. Because I just didn't really feel like smiling at all. My face was always deadpan, like this. Or like maybe like a... Which is not genuine, you know, you can tell. So here's what I did. I got up in the morning and I felt like shit, all right? 5 hours of sleep, way too little. I probably watched some fucking YouTube videos before I went to bed or whatever. I don't know, right? Just shit night, shit morning, shit work, everything shit. How do you get around that? Genuine question, right? What I would do is, it's something a trick that another YouTuber called Hamza told me, was just pretend to be happy. Just laugh. Just laugh about how stupid it is to try to fake a smile, right? Just try to just get that thought in your mind. It's like you're going out there, you remember yourself, you remind yourself to smile, but it's not coming out. So you just start thinking about like, dude, it's fucking stupid to try to fucking fake a smile. It's really stupid to do that. And that automatically makes you smile. At least that's what did it for me. And you might have to try some things out, but just try to think how fucking ridiculous it is that you have to do that. You know, that your mind is not programmed to do this automatically, because why would it be? But I'm telling you, a smile is the easiest way, the easiest thing you can do every single day to get people to like you. Thank you so much for watching my video. If you found this helpful at all or you learned something, please click subscribe. It helps me a lot, and it's going to recommend my videos to you again, hopefully. And if you want to learn more, I have a course that you can book, where you can book an appointment with me. It's a 1-hour appointment where we can literally just talk about your mental health, man, because Lord knows we need it. And I might be able to help you. So, you know, if you're interested in that, click the first link in the description below. Other than that, thanks for being here. Goodbye.